What is up, guys? It is the Sound Alchemist, and today I'm back to bring you 40 facts on the Warhammer 40k universe. This time, things will be a little bit different. As most of you guys know, I do have a custom Space Marine chapter, or Legion for that matter, known as the Celestial Sons. Now, I've been getting this question asked a lot on Facebook, as well as on some of our YouTube comments from previous videos. So that main question is, how did I start this army, and what is the lore behind it? So I do have a few videos. I will put the link to the playlist at the end of this video so you guys can kind of go back and see the beginnings, the models in the army, and overall just my general lore. This first part is called The Rising Sun, and this is a more, I guess, lore-accurate rendition of my first take into my 11th Legion. So without further ado, let's dive into the first lore on the Celestial Sons, the Rising Sun. The history behind the Primarch of the 11th Legion has been lost to the Imperium after the Emperor of Mankind decreed that all symbols, likeliness, and records of this legion become forgotten and purged due to the Edict of Obliteration. The statement that follows has been gathered from various sources throughout the galaxy, spanning untold centuries. Most, if not all of these sources have disappeared soon after they have gone public. The Primarch of the 11th Legion was just like all his brothers. He was also stolen from the Emperor, all thanks to the ruinous powers of chaos. They took this young warrior from his gestation pod and flung him across the galaxy. Unfortunately for him, though, his pod was cracked, and the corruption of chaos infected his body. The pod landed on a technologically advanced planet of Kyosha Vor. He was discovered by the leaders of this planet, the Council of Three. These three wise men saw potential in him and began to train the young boy. He was trained in physical combat, the study of the sun, the stars, and storms. And after showcasing some psychic talent in the ways of the warp, the Council of Three knew that this was no ordinary child, and they used this to rally the planet behind their plans. Upon completion of his training, the young Primarch, who had now mastered into a formidable warrior and scholar, was given a name. He chose the same name as the man who first united the people of Kyosha Vor. He would now be known as Elric. For the next 5 years, the Council of Three began traveling the planet alongside Alec. Together, they convinced the 5 great continents to construct massive pylons in the name of their new leader of Kyosha Vor, Elric. Unknown to all but the Council of Three was that these massive constructs were built for a secretive, sinister motive. The Council of Three had for decades known of an underground ancient civilization, and through reverse engineering had used this technology to give themselves the resources and firepower needed to have the positions that they now wield. These pylons were built to drain the planet's energy in order to awaken the sleeping machine warriors. Elric began to see visions of death and destruction becoming for this world. His psychic abilities were trying to warn him, but he was too devoted to his adopted fathers that he ignored them. The day was soon approaching when he would be crowned king of Kyosha Vor. He had no time for these visions. Upon becoming a king, Elric knew that he had to build a weapon for himself. He needed a weapon strong enough to pierce through the planet's tough alloy metals. With his massive intellect and vast knowledge of machinery, in a mere 2 days, he built a powerful sword unlike any other. This weapon emitted a superheated white energy around the blade, breaking apart any armor that it came in contact with. He called it Dawn's Light. Before long, the fated day came. But before he would be crowned king, the planet shook and went dark. All machinery failed. Their power cores drained dry. The world shook, and from beneath the pylons, massive pyramid constructs arose. Before the planet could react against this machinery. The green flashes of light appeared all across all of the 5 continents. With each flash, thousands of metal skeletal warriors appeared. Elric readied his weapon, Dawn Light, and looked to his mentors. But what he saw shook him to his core. Their faces melted off, and their bodies twisted and fused with one another. Before Elric stood a massive bestial creature. "Master wishes for your death," were the words uttered, and he charged at Elric. Instincts kicked in, and Elric flung his blade at the creature. Dawn's light consumed the beast's right arm, but the foolish demon proved to be a worthy opponent. Anger fueled the Primarch's blows. The betrayal of his mentors tore at his mind, unleashing his immense psychic potential. Bolts of lightning surrounded his body, strengthening his reflexes and speed. Before long, Elric took the upper hand in the battle, and he beat the beast down. But before he could banish it, a rift opened between them, and red demon after demon poured out. "Looks like the blood god will drown this planet in its own blood," laughed the broken creature as Elric's blade decapitated it. The awoken Necrons descended upon Elric and the planet. The world was besieged on all sides. These awoken monstrous creatures and the Necrons slaughtered everyone and everything. Elric fought both the Necrons and the demons for 2 days straight, and just as he was about to give up, a ray of gold light appeared in front of his broken and tattered body. The Emperor had come for his son. The Emperor of Mankind teleported to save his Primarch. With a single swing of his flaming sword, he slew all of the surrounding Necrons and Bloodletters. The two then teleported back to the Emperor's flagship, and the Imperial fleet declared exterminatus on this doomed planet. Elric and the Emperor spoke alone for quite some time. When the Emperor left, Elric was now in command of the 11th Legion of Space Marines, known only as the Celestial Sons. These Marines were clad in white, red, and gold armor, and they were first hesitant to follow their new leader. Elric revealed to his legion that all he ever knew was a lie, and that he wanted to start anew. To repay the Emperor for saving his life, he would devote all his efforts to bring the Emperor's dream into a reality. The Emperor's crusade was now Elric's. Throughout the beginning of this great crusade, Elric and his warriors of light stayed out of many conflicts. They traveled together with Robute Gilliman and Ferris Manus to many Forge Worlds in order to learn of the secrets of the machine's spirit. Together with this knowledge of machinery, the Imperium greatly benefited from the new advancements in technology. Elric built his own artificial armor. He personalized it to withstand his aura of psychic lightning during battle. Clad in new armor, the Celestial Sons were now ready for a battle, and a battle is what they got. The Emperor of Mankind gave them their orders to head to the Forge World on Eldia sector of space to free them from the menace of the Greenskins. Alongside Leman Russ's Space Wolves, the two legions assaulted an Orc-controlled planet with a very large human population. Even with the combined forces of the Wolves and the Suns, they were still outnumbered at least 5 to 1. The Orc warlord Deadfist had many human slaves surrounding him, which meant that the Space Marines couldn't simply bombard his stronghold. Russ and Elric gathered their Terminators and ready to assault Deadfist head-on. Deadfist was a massive orc who got his name after defeating a Molten warrior of the Eldar race. It was indeed a tough battle, and the orc's right hand was practically melted off, for only his bones remained. His Wa honored him by wearing the bones of their enemies upon themselves. Upon seeing these barbaric orcs, Elric was wary of a straightforward fight against such odds, but he did not want to show weakness in front of Russ and his legion. 2 Storm Ravens carried the elite squads to their prey, but before they could land, the war boss began slaughtering his captives. Angered at the massacre of the helpless civilians, Elric leapt from the Storm Raven directly towards Deadfist. The massive orc's claw clashed against Dawn's light, but only for an instant. The superior weapon cleaved straight through his claw, and next, sewing the orc apart in 2 pieces. The wall swarmed Elric, but aid came from Russ and the Terminators. The leaderless wall broke into smaller clans, each with a new leader. Although they were numerous, they could not unite to defeat the Marines. Within 2 weeks, the orcs were utterly gone, and the planet now belonged to the Imperium. And that is essentially the ending to the Rising Sun, Part 1 into the lore of the 11th Legion. Now, the thing about this is, I have an awesome image in my head of what I want to put into words, but unfortunately I'm not the best writer. So if you guys are better writers, or if you guys know somebody who can basically do this better than I can, let me know, because I'd like to work with you and maybe we can get this better, I guess, make this more fleshed out. For example, make it sound more flowing, because I know some of the things on here, I don't know, I'm not the best writer, so it comes out a little weird sometimes. The whole thing with Deadfist, I thought it was pretty cool that he's got that basically his hand punched off by a freaking avatar of Cain. I thought that was pretty cool. And the bones that the orcs wear are actually the bones of the Eldar that they fought previous. Now, I was going to have them have psychic powers due to them wearing the bones of these Eldar, but I didn't know how that was going to play into it. I may go back and change that, but again, I want to know your guys' thoughts. What did you guys think of this lore? Any and all bits of criticism is welcomed, because I need to improve, and there's no way of improving if I don't get your guys' feedback. So be brutally honest, let me know what you guys like, what you guys don't like, how I can improve, what I can change, etc. And we'll go from there. This is really an awesome hobby of mine. I like to plan out things. I like to write this down. I literally have sheets all over my bed of possible scenarios and storylines that never really go anywhere. So again, guys, I kind of need your help to kind of help me focus and make a reasonable, logical storyline that fits the 40k universe. So just I need your help, basically. Anyway, guys, that's all the time I have for you. Can't wait to read your comments. And as always, I'm the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, signing out.